we've got to ask the first question of the show. What in tarnation happened with the weight cut?
Yeah, I fucking knew this. I knew you were going to ask. I knew this was I thought maybe we could make it through it without talking about it, but.
It's got to be the first question, but everyone's asking. They're already, people are dicks, and I'll let you talk because obviously this is your subject, but people are quick. There's something about human nature. They'd love to kick a man while he's down. You know what I mean? I'm assuming there's no one more pissed off at you than yourself, you know? I mean, of course, I'm sure there's going to be circumstances, reasons and things like that. But of course, I'm sure you didn't go down there planning to not make weight. So you're pissed off, but a lot of people are being pricks in the comments. But go on. What happened, mate?
But I can't even tell you what happened because no matter what I say, there's a reason. There's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes that nobody sees. I was in shape. I was really low a couple weeks ago. And shit happens, but I have no excuses. I had a job. I had to go down and make weight to be the alternate if something happened. To be fair, I was still there. I was still ready to fight if something happened and someone had to pull out. I still would have fought. I just wouldn't have been eligible to win the title. But I don't have any. I have no excuses. I've been an absolute asshole about people missing weight. You got one job. You got to show up on weight.
Exactly.
Like, that's the easiest part of the job, right? So I stand by everything I've ever said about everybody else, that you have to make weight, that it's not an option, and I'll accept whatever shit's coming my way. It doesn't change my perspective.
There's no shit coming your way. Number one, the extent of the shit that's coming your way is wow.
Yeah.
Tap, 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 tap.
Yeah.
Anthony Smith, as if he went down to Brazil and didn't even make weight. Wow. And he has the audacity to lecture about fighters on a podcast. Wow. That's
and
about it.
I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it. If the next person that misses weight, I'm going to say something about it because everyone else is coming at me. They're in the comments. They're on Twitter. They're talking shit. I'll eat it. Yeah. You know what? I missed.
There's nothing else you can do.
Some shit happened. I fucked up. I missed weight.
That shit.
I'll eat that shit. I'll take that L. But when it happens to someone else,
how's that shit taste, Anthony?
It is what it is. Like, it's not because it wasn't for lack of effort.
No,
it wasn't for lack of effort. You know, I spent 48 straight hours cutting weight. Like, it wasn't a lack of effort. You guys didn't. No one see me on the scale looking like I had an additional 20 pounds to lose. Like, I got close, but it wasn't close enough, and that's my fault. And it'll never happen again. I'll be the first one on the scale in my next fight, and we'll be back on. And I'm not like a serial weight misser. You know what I mean? Like, it happens, and it wasn't on purpose. I apologize to everyone that it mattered to.
One more time, you'll be a serial weight misser.
One more time, that's what I mean. One more time, and
then a pattern starts forming.
Right.
In the words of a very famous fighter, in the words of Max Holloway,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. All right.
And I had lots of conversations before we go on. I guess I had lots of conversations with the UFC. To be honest, they understand. They weren't super happy about it, but once the fights went through and everything was fine, everybody was good. They know that I'm a professional. That things that things happen, and again, I offer no excuses. That's on me.
Well, it is what it is, and as you said, both guys made weight. Both guys were healthy, so it didn't impact anything. You know, okay, granted, you went down there to be the backup. But whatever. Moving on. We won't say what it is, but you've got a fight booked as well. Obviously, you'll probably make an announcement at some point, but I'm very, very excited for you to hear that. So, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Smith will be back in the octagon sometime soon, but we're not talking about that right now. But there is lots and lots and lots of storylines, of course. UFC 283, what a fantastic fight card at the weekend. We're just going to get straight into that main event. Glover to share. I mean, who do you start with? I mean, obviously Jamal Hill won the belt, right? So that's the guy. He's the champion. A beautiful story. So emotional afterwards. The emotion, breaking down because of just what he achieved. I don't know the guy nearly as well as you do. He's been on the show a couple of times now. I was so emotional for him. That's amazing. But we'll get to him in a minute. Let's just talk about Glover Teixeira. I want to give that man his respect. First of all, we all know one of the nicest guys, a class act. an absolute warrior, provided endless hours of entertainment, and fought the best of the best. Saturday night, that respect went even higher. I will say this, I thought that it was weird, and this is what time does to people. You might look fine, you look fine, you look fine, then one time you step in the octagon, and all of a sudden it's like he's aged overnight. I thought he looked like an older fighter on Saturday night, and I don't, not being disrespectful, just an observation, and certainly not taking away from Jamal, but the heart that he showed, the beating that he took, and then to continue to still be threatening, have his best moments in the 5th round when the referee was this close to stopping the fight. Oh my God, what a legend.
Yeah, Mike, there looked like there was conversations being had with coaches and the referee before the 5th round even started. I think there was some discourse. It seemed like some of the coaches wanted to continue and some of them did not. So I don't know the whole dynamics there and how that all works, but Glover was clear that he was ready to fight. And just the arena was electric, absolutely electric, man. They loved him. They loved the Brazilians. And it was, like I said, it was the first time I'd been able to sit and watch a card in a long time. And it's been a while since I've been around for a fight that was so, it was just so loud. They were so hyped for Glover and just some of the shots he was taking, that he'd gotten dropped at one point, I think in the 4th, and he was up against the fence. Jamal was in half guard, just raining elbows. And it was, I couldn't believe that he was able to come back from that. Like, you could almost see him biding his time too. Like, he was taking some big shots and he kept sitting up to the leg and sitting up to, like, he was still threatening, even being as hurt as he was. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he did it.
Do you know what my favorite bit was? It was the end of the 4th round. Goddard was in there. I think Hackelman was calling for the fight to be called off because Hackelman's been with him this whole journey, right. And he knows, look, listen, you're probably not going to win this fight. This is your final fight. You're retiring after this one. Let's not, guarantee CTE down the line. Let's call this a day. But even after all that and the blood pouring out of his face, he's like, come on, let's go, baby. Like, this man right here. What a guy.
He's goddamn crazy.
He's crazy.
Man, he looked so bad. He looked so bad in the hotel afterwards, too. It was.
Oh, really?
I wanted to talk to him.
He didn't look too good on TV.
No, he looked real bad in the hotel afterwards. But I wanted to talk to him really bad. But his wife doesn't really like me.
Oh, really?
And no, well, I think it's his wife. And we have fought before. So I think there's some. She's fuck that guy.
I think she's very quiet as well because I met her for the first time and I said hi and she's she's
met her
probably a little shy. Yeah.
Very sweet lady. But very quiet.
Yeah.
And then there was an altercation right after the fight, and I don't mean to throw anybody under the bus, and I don't even know if I haven't even told Jamal this.
Tell me the story. Tell us the stories. Tell the believers the story. Okay, just do it. It's out there. People know. It's all over the Rio de Janeiro Express.
I mean, it's not. I don't even know. I don't even know who it is enough to even throw him under the bus. But there was a person that was in Jamal and his crew of people. Very, very respectful. Super respectful people. Like, they shake hands. They bow to people. Like, Jamal, his team, and his family members, and he had a guy from the NFL that was with him. There was a guy from the Red TV. The kind of YouTube TikTok sensation. Super respectful people. But there was one guy, and I don't know who he was. I think he was extremely drunk. And after Jamal wins, the belt hasn't even been put on him yet, but it's clear who's going to win this fight. It's Glover's wife, his sister, and like a couple other like older ladies. They're sitting in the front row, right in front of me to the right. And one of them was he was excited. I get it. But he was screaming, that belt's coming back to America, like kind of in their face. Like, I don't even know that he knew who they were. I think he was just speaking to like Brazilians, but it happened to be right in front of Glover's wife. And then he looks over at me and says, Anthony, you helped with this shit. You helped him. This is you too. And I was just like, I don't want to be a part of this. Yeah, I don't want to be a part of this. Like, what I did for Jamal wasn't in spite of Glover. It wasn't like,
and you made that abundantly clear.
Yeah, it wasn't me and Jamal versus Glover. It was Jamal asked, and I've always had an incredible relationship with Jamal and his management team, and so like they asked and I said yes, and we vibe, we get along, we're similar in ages, we both got 97 kids, like we're just similar, you know what I mean? But it wasn't because I didn't like Glover. I wanted him to beat Glover. He asked, and so I did it, and it was kind of like I was helping a friend. But then I felt in that moment very uncomfortable because it was almost like that guy was pulling me into his bullshit. And then like Glover's wife looked at me and like, that's not how it was. Like, it wasn't like that, you know? So I just turned away and looked away, you know, I was uncomfortable. So then in the hotel, then I seen him and I wanted to go say hi and give him a hug and tell him how much I respected him and give him his due. But he was with his wife and I didn't want to like cause any issues. So I just walked away.
Well, I'm sure Glover knows. And I'm sure his wife knows as well that that's not the case. The problem is, you know, with fighters, because we are, you know, we're a certain type of person. You know what I mean? And our friends might be a certain type of way. Not everybody, but I have a broad section of friends. You know what I mean? And some of those friends might get a little bit crazy. Certainly my mates back home. Geez Louise, right? And there's always a couple of rowdy ones. And certainly when you get some alcohol in them as well. Like I remember my first ever professional fight, 2003, I think it was. And, you know, it's your first ever fight. Right, I smoked the guy. I think it was 39 seconds. It was a knockout, but the guy is a lovely guy, right? And afterwards, because the show's still going on, it's my first ever fight, so I'm like down on the prelims or some shit, right? Afterwards, we're watching the fights, and I'm at the bar getting a drink, and there he is at the bar, and he's a lovely guy, you know what I mean? So we're just chit chatting away. And one of my mates bounces over, wasted. You're shit. You got annihilated. You should be embarrassed. I'm like, what are you doing, you asshole? Do you know what I mean? At least he had and they think in their minds that they're supporting you. Do you know what I mean? Or supporting Jamal or whatever it is. But they're just drunk, they're carried away, and sometimes they don't understand how insensitive they're being. But I'm sure listen, Glover's
I got friends like that. I got my best friend while the fight week, while I was getting ready to fight John Jones, was just coming at John hard. Like every chance we got. Hey John, fuck you. You know, I was like, dude, chill.
Which is awesome.
It's
awesome in a way. Though.
He still would too. He still would. And
I was going to say, I'm sure Glover's got thick skin, but I'm not sure anymore because it looks like half of his face was hanging off by the end of it. I'm going to say he's got thicker skin than that, but not anymore.
Those things were open. Hey,
God bless. Thank you to Glover to share for all the memories and everything you brought.
On an incredible
Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill. I thought Jamal Hill, if he was going to win that fight, he had to catch him and knock him out. Put him to sleep, like he has done a lot of people with that signature power that he's known for. I did not expect him to defend the takedowns time after time after time, to be the better guy on the feet, to be pushing the pace, to be cool, calm, collected, composed, and just be controlling the fight. I didn't expect him to be able to push hard for 5 rounds. And even though Glover on occasion, certainly in the 5th round, took him down, mounted him, to be able to reverse positions like that as well. I mean, Jamal Hill passed the test with flying colors. Of course, he's the champion of the world, but he showed, A, that he has evolved, he's got better, he's a complete mixed martial artist. He's a goddamn champion of the world. Congratulations.
Man, I told you guys, people thought I was crazy. They're like, there is no way.
Did you?
There is no way that Jamal's going to grapple. I said, listen, his best chance to win is to stay on his feet, obviously. But I think Kevin Iole called me like Saturday morning and wanted to know, like, how's this going to go? And I said, clear as day. He's going to be harder to take down than people think, and he's going to be harder to hold down than people think. He is a fast learner. And I think I said that part on here. He is a fast learner. If you show him something once, he'll have it right away. And everything that I'd seen him drill, everything that they worked on, his jiu-jitsu coach, it's Chad and Justin and all the people around him, they just worked. And that fight looked exactly like every one of his training sessions. He may have just had a breakout moment where he had the performance of a lifetime. I mean, even the stuff on the fence, you know, fighting to the frame, and then when Glover would go to take his back, turn the frame to an underhook to push off. I've seen him do that 100 times, just training. Like I think that there is so much film on Glover out there that it was easy to kind of formulate a game plan with Jamal's strengths and where his weaknesses are and kind of hide them. For the type of wrestler that Glover is, it worked really well in Jamal's favor. He went to the single leg, wanted to come to the body lock, and Jamal was ready for that. They trilled it over and over and over. He didn't do anything that was surprising to me. Everything that he had planned on doing, he did.
Well, Jamal.
The surprising part was that Glover was able to take the shots. to be honest with you.
Oh yeah. Well, Glover stuff was all boots. I mean, Glover was doing a really good job of rolling with the shots and not allowing them, a lot of them, to connect flush. They were more glancing blows because the way he was rolling with them. But Glover to share it afterwards. What a beautiful moment. Beautiful moment. I mean, listen, the man broke down in pure emotion, pure tears of joy. But it's not only tears of joy when you've been through something like that. It's the road. It's the journey. It's the adversity. It's people telling you can't do it. Where he comes from, people aren't supposed to achieve such great things. And you can resonate. I can resonate. You know, I thought he was going to drop out the old conceive, believe, achieve sign. You know what I mean? It was an amazing, incredible moment. And, you know, to see what it meant to him, his whole team. I mean, I couldn't be happier for the man. He truly deserved it. He was by far the better man. Yeah. What's your take?
I was sad for Glover at the end because the arena was almost empty. Like they just got, I mean, I get it.
The car parks, bro. The car parks. They're a nightmare in Brazil.
They are. I mean, it was bad. It was a rough trip to get back to the hotel, but I just thought that maybe they would stay and at least give him his great send off. Shogun got an incredible send off. You know, they just cheered him all the way out, and I was hoping that Glover would get that, but I mean, I get it. Maybe they didn't understand he was going to retire right then and there, but they were leaving during Jamal's speech. So
yeah.
That part was sad. That part was sad.
Do you know what the best bit was, though? For Glover Teixeira, forever the legend. I mean, his final words, some of the final words he ever said in the octagon was like, hey, listen, don't be throwing beer bottles. Don't disrespect him. He's the champion, and I'm going to walk him out here. That was just the classiest thing ever, because obviously we had Brandon Moreno running for his goddamn life, you know, getting Modelo all over the place. Took me back to Mexico City where Brendan Fitzgerald's hiding under the desk. Brendan, we do not hide under desks, brother.
We don't, Brendan.
But my God, well done. But Brian, do me a favor. Play the video of Yuri Prochazka, right?
Oh my God, my body's ready. I don't
know. Have you seen this video?
Yes, I love it.
This is the best thing on planet Earth. The best thing ever. Yuri Prochazka's out there. He's in the forest. Hold on. He's in the forest. He's walking around like a madman.
In the snow.
It's -10. He's got no warm clothes on. He's hunting for prey. All he's thinking about is fights. He's like some kind of character out of, like, I don't know, like the Mad Axe Man or something, wandering through the forests of Czechoslovakia and Prague, looking to murder people. He's a psycho. Press play.
Congratulations. I'm coming. I'm coming!
That is so badass.
Yeah. Well, but he's genuine. He's genuinely out of his mind. I'm not sure if he's going to be back in time to be the next challenger. I hope so. If not, before we move on to the co-main event, who do you think would be the next in line? Did you hear anything down in Brazil?
I didn't hear anything. I don't know. It sounds like there's a lot of people that are just kind of waiting. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, it ain't going to be Paul Craig, is it?
I know. Damn it. I had a moment with him in the hotel lobby, having a drink afterwards, and man, I was just bummed. Bummed, really bummed. Yeah, he just said that Johnny just had unreal power, and that he thought he could get his leg and just run him kind of across the octagon, and just ran out of room. And I was kind of like, man, you can't really treetop takedown a guy that's like 6'6" like that and it's all legs. It's just tough to do, which has kind of always been the I don't know, the thorn in Paul's side has always been he's just not a super strong wrestler. Like he's
a jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah, he just can't grab a single and get to a body lock and be safer there, you know? So it was unfortunate. I was really sad for him, to be honest. He looked great too. We shared a warm-up or a workout room all week, and he looked really good. I wish he would have a little more confidence in his striking because watching him just briefly in the workout room, he looked good. He looked good on his feet. He's big. He's strong. He was in really, really good shape. And he just, he's just not as confident there. And I think if there's anyone in the world he could be a little more confident in his striking, it is Johnny Walker, because he's not a polished, really clean striker. I think he would have surprised himself and done a lot better on his feet than I think he believes he would have.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about jiu-jitsu guys. Great once it hits the ground, not very good at getting them there. Like, for example, Callum, he's done jiu-jitsu, but he's a good wrestler. And he won a world championship at a low level because all he did was just blast doubles, take them down, and then hold them inside control. And people were spazzing out, going, "This is not jiu-jitsu." And he's like, "Well, stop me." You know what I mean? Yeah. Not the best takedowns. When he caught the kick from Johnny Walker, and this is a perfect segue to talk about that, because obviously Paul could have been the next contender had he got a good victory. Before we get to the other fights, I know main event, opening fight on pay-per-view doesn't really correlate, but they're the same. We're bouncing around. We're going here, there, everywhere. Yeah, he caught that kick. The problem is you catch that kick, and it happens all the time in training. All the time. Like, people to catch a kick, they're trying to turn it into a takedown. The person who has their kick caught, who's standing on one leg, they often tee off on the person. I've seen that happen. I've had it done to me. I've been the puncher. I've been the person getting punched. It happens all the time. That's why from there, you've got to act quickly. You can't stand there and hesitate. That's why a single leg, you have your head buried into the thigh. You know what I mean? Standing and holding the leg here, you are a target. You're a sitting duck. You're essentially waiting to get hit. And as we know, Walker is a goddamn freak when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah,
you know what was more impressive? Powerful. Oh, crazy powerful. And I love Paul. Commiserations to Paul. He'll be back. It was a disappointing performance for him, for his team, for everyone that supported him on the journey. The people of Scotland. There's no other way of putting it. He didn't. Never in his wildest dreams did he want that. So, Paul, our thoughts are with you, mate. He's got to work on those entries and the takedowns. Not only just the striking, but I get it. Johnny Walker's freakishly powerful. So, yeah, and well done to Johnny Walker. But you know what was more impressive? When he was doing the worm.
Then he didn't blow a shoulder.
Well, he didn't blow a shoulder. When he was doing the worm, he just went back to his feet.
Did he?
I missed that.
Yeah,
man. He just popped right back up. You know what I mean? I was like, that was sick. I used to do a bit of wormy when I was younger on the dance floor. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I had to get up like an old man, you know what I mean? Like a 17-point get up.
I didn't realize he